good evening, everyone. So I want just to go ahead and introduce the science of tobacco addiction. And so in tobacco, the addiction is through nicotine. And through nicotine, you are able to increase your dopamine levels in blood and in brain. And with that, you end up having a good feeling. When the nicotine levels fall down or they drop, then you get the craving and the urge to get back your levels high, and that's where you go back to smoking a cigarette or using a tobacco product again. So in summary, it is mainly physical dependence, what we are calling physiological, and the behavioral dependence, or called psychological dependence. So the physical dependence is through the addiction to the nicotine, and it requires medications for one to stop or to counter the physical dependence, like what we have, the nicotine replacement therapies. On the behavioral aspect of it, you need behavioral therapies. This is through psychologists and even psychiatrists for one to overcome the habit. Tobacco is the greatest burden that we have to prevent non-communicable diseases. In fact, 50% of non-communicable diseases can be reduced if we correctly control tobacco. So these products, as I saw that elderly man, I really felt sad for him because he's still continuing to burn a cigarette. Here, as we were walking along the beach, I saw a colleague who could be here, and many of you even could be here, and you are burning a cigarette. It is still a sad story that you are burning a cigarette when there is an answer to your problem. You are addicted. Accept it and reach out and you will be helped. Let these products be made affordable. One pack of a patch is 3,000 shillings. And you will use it for like a week. It's not affordable. And you guys are in the pharmacy world. Try to reduce it. Let them be accessible. Let also these products be made available so that even a pharmacy in Turkana, they can access these nicotine replacement therapies. So with that, I invite my colleague to finish up with the presentation. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mutisia. We are also here to inform Kenyans in general and healthcare workers that United Kingdom is the first country in the world to introduce electronic nicotine devices to their smokers. This is a program that has been passed by the UK Parliament, was allocated £45 million, set to run in the next 2 years. And the whole idea is to target 1 million smokers. The number of smokers in UK are 6.6 million. And what the government of UK has done is that they will target 1 million smokers and offer them what they call vapor starter kits. It may sound controversial, but indeed that is what they are doing. And it just shows to what extent are some of these governments going to make sure that their smokers are able to quit the tobacco burden. And we are all watching to see how the outcomes of this program will roll out, famously called Swap to Stop. And in fact, as we speak, some of the counties in the UK have already begun this program. One may ask, how will they enforce? How will we make sure that our children, our adolescents, non-smokers don't access these vapes? The government of the UK has also funded an enforcement unit to make sure that only smokers will be able to achieve, or rather be targeted by this program. So it's a wait and see. And probably we need to follow up the data that will emanate from this strategy. Next. This is a case study in Sweden. Sweden will be the first country in the world to be smoke-free, defined by WHO as smoking rates less than 5%. And they employed the same modalities in terms of nicotine replacement therapies safer alternatives, reduced risk products, and even introduced electronic nicotine devices to their smokers and followed them up to make sure that they quit smoking. Next. Back here in the country, as early as the day before yesterday, Senator Catherine Muma introduced, or rather tabled, a notice of motion calling for the development of a national policy on advertising and consumption of synthetic nicotine in the form of electronic cigarettes. This regulation is needed. Some of the e-cigarettes we are finding out in the market have lethal doses of nicotine, as high as 100 milligrams per mil. We need regulation in this sector. And that's one of the roles of the Harm Reduction Society, to continue sensitizing Kenyans on the dangers of tobacco, the dangers of electronic nicotine delivery systems that have very high nicotine levels, and this is a step in the right direction. This is the notice in the Kenyan context, and we are all looking forward to see the contributions that will be forwarded by the various sectors. This is the new research in as far as nicotine is concerned. Next. Next. This is the new research. We have nicotine vaccines under development, and they are still undergoing clinical trials. And indeed, there is a lot going on in the nicotine world. Thank you very much. Next. So we all urge those who smoke to quit smoking and breathe. Thank you.